So difficult to stream, man. Okay. Is everyone back? Hello? Is everyone back? Please type I am back in the comments. Yes. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, there was a connection cut, right? So the Wi-Fi restarted. Anyway, let's wrap this up quick because I will have to move a bit faster now. So no jokes, just a serious class. Let's wrap this up, right? Okay, so we were at sine 120. So sine 90 plus 30, right? Sine 90 plus 30, and so because it's 90, we have to switch between the signs. And as we switch, now 90 plus 30, right? So 90 plus 30, we go from here, from 30 degrees all the way to here. Now we are over here, right? This is the second quadrant. We went from the first to the second quadrant because we added from 90, right? So we have 30 degrees in the end. So 30 degrees, and we converted into cos, right? And in the second quadrant, as we have sine 120, in the second quadrant, sine is positive, right? Sine is positive. So therefore, we will get cos 30. Cos 30. And cos 30 is what? 1 by 2. Cos 30 is 1 by 2. And what does that become? You have seen it here. This was 1 by 2. So sine 120 is equal to cos 30, which is equal to 1 by 2. Yes. So that is the importance of this unit circle and these quadrants, right? Okay. So we have ASTC. How do you remember this? Simply remember, add sugar to coffee. Okay. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now if we have some other values, we will have to adjust accordingly. All right. So first, second, third and fourth. Let's move on. So when we move into the other quadrant, we will check which one is positive. Rest all others will be negative. Other than the first quadrant, all of them, other than the first quadrant, all of these will be, in other quadrants, only one value will be positive and they're reciprocal. So when we're talking about sine, the cosecant will be positive, right? And when we are talking about cos, if cos is positive, then secant will also be positive. And when we are, so if sine is positive and cos is positive, then only we will get tan is positive. And if tan is positive, then cot will be positive. Is that all right? Okay. Now this is 90 degrees. This is 180 degrees. This is 270 degrees. And this is 360 degrees. So pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2 and 2 pi. Okay. 2 pi is nothing but 0. So 2 pi is equal to 360 is equal to 0. You need to remember this. All right. Okay, so now as you can see here, I've already explained most of this, right? Already explained most of this. So when we talk about 90 minus theta, 90 plus theta, 270 minus theta, 270 plus theta, you will almost always convert. So from sine to cos, cos to sine, tan to cot, and cot to tan. All right? Right? I hope that's clear. Now, when we say 90 minus theta, that means we are before 90, right? So we are in the first quadrant. And in the first quadrant, everything was positive, right? So we are using either 90 or 270, that will change. So sine becomes cot, sine becomes cos, tan becomes cot, right? So sine 90 minus theta is nothing but cos theta. Cos 90 minus theta is sine theta. Tan 90 minus theta is cot theta. Okay. All right. Okay. Moving on to 90 plus theta. So 90 plus theta means you are in the second quadrant, right? Second quadrant. So in the second quadrant, only sine will be positive, rest all will be negative. So sine is converted to cos theta, right? Cos theta, and cos gets converted to sine theta, but cos is negative in the second quadrant. Therefore, this becomes minus sine theta. And similarly, tan 90 plus theta becomes minus cot theta. Simple enough, right? So now 270 minus theta. This is the third quadrant, right? Look here. So 270 is right here. 270 minus theta is in third quadrant, right? So third quadrant, AST, T. So tan should be positive, rest others should be negative. So 270 minus theta, you change the sign, change sign into cos, right? So we have cos. Now sine is negative in the third quadrant, so we get minus cos theta. Okay. Similarly, this becomes minus sine theta. And tan is positive. Tan is positive. Therefore, tan 270 minus theta becomes plus cot theta. Okay. Now talking about 270 plus theta, this becomes the fourth quadrant. So 270 plus theta, we are in the fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant, cos was positive, right? So everything else becomes negative. So sine is negative, so we have minus, right? And we have 270, therefore sine becomes cos. So we have, at the end, we have minus cos theta. We are in the fourth quadrant. Cos is positive. So cos 270 plus theta becomes sine theta. What about 270 plus theta tan? This becomes minus cot theta. Right? Simple enough. Okay. Moving on. We talked about 90 and 270. Now we talk about 180 and 360. So 180 minus theta, if you remember, right here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We have 0, 2 pi. We have pi by 2, we have 3 pi by 2, or what we have, sorry, it's not 3 pi by 2, it's just pi. I'm a bit flustered because we have to move fast. We have pi, we have 3 pi by 2, okay, just so that we can move quickly. Okay, when we talk about 180 and 360, we don't convert sine to cos, cos to sine, tan to cot, cot to tan, okay, right? So when we talk about 180, so 180 minus theta, 180 is pi, so pi minus theta, we are in the second quadrant. So second quadrant. Now we are in the second quadrant. Second quadrant, what is positive? Second quadrant, what is positive? So A, S, T, C. S is positive, right? So S is positive. Therefore, sine 180 minus theta becomes sine theta. Remember, we don't change sine to cos in 180 minus theta. When we have 180 and we have 360, we don't change it. So cos 180 minus theta, we are in the second quadrant, only sine is positive. So this becomes minus cos theta, right? Tan 180 minus theta, again minus tan theta, okay? 180 plus theta, we are in third quadrant, tan is positive, we are in third quadrant, tan is positive, so minus sine theta, minus cos theta, and tan theta. Easy. So 360 minus theta, so we are in the fourth quadrant, okay? So fourth quadrant, it becomes fourth quadrant, only cos is positive, right? So only cos is positive, therefore we have minus sine theta cos is positive, fourth quadrant cos is positive, so cos theta and minus tan theta. Clear? 360 plus theta, fourth quadrant, we have sine theta, we have sine theta, cos theta, tan theta. Why is this? Why is 360 plus theta is equal to sine theta? Simply because 360 is equal to 0, therefore sine 360 plus theta is equal to sine theta. You are just back to where you came from. When you add 360 to any angle, it becomes equal to coming back to where you have come, right? 360 is the full circle, if you remember, right? 360 is 2 pi is the full circle, therefore sine 360 plus theta is equal to sine theta, cos 360 plus theta is equal to cos theta, tan 360 plus theta is equal to tan theta. Alright? Is this slide and the previous one clear? This one and this one. This one and this one. Is this clear? All of this clear? This one as well, all of three, okay? Are all of these clear? Put in a thumbs up, and we will be moving on quickly to the end of our session in 3-4 slides, right? Okay. So let's calculate these quickly. So sine 120, first let's calculate sine 120. Now we don't have to use the addition formula, we can easily solve this. Sine 120 is equal to sine 90 plus 30, Remember, 90 plus 30 is what? Second quadrant, sine is positive, and as it's 90, we have to change the sign, so this becomes cos 30, this becomes 1 by 2. Alright, simple enough? Yes? Second, we are going to move quickly. Cos 210. This is, we can do two things. We can say do 180 plus 30, or we can do cos 90 plus 120. Sorry, yes, but 90 plus 120. But this we will have to do further steps, so let's avoid this one, right? So cos 180 plus 30, 180 plus theta. We are in what quadrant? We are in third quadrant, right? We are in third quadrant, and it's the same thing. It's 180, so therefore we don't have to change cos into sine. Third quadrant, which one is positive? Tan is positive, so cos is not positive, therefore we get minus cos 30. One step you are done. You don't need to do any formula, right? Then we use the table. Use the table. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2, minus cos 30 becomes minus root 3 by 2. मजा आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है? Let's do the last one for this particular thing. So sine 315 is nothing but 360 minus 45. So 360 minus 45. One thing I forgot to tell you, sorry, when we are approaching these angles, we have to move anti-clockwise, right? So we move in this direction, always. This is fixed. You cannot move in the other direction. If you move in the other direction, you have to do something else. We are not going to discuss this in this video. It's outside the scope of this one, right? We might discuss it later. Okay. If you have to move I'll just say, if you have to move the other side, you will not add the theta, you will subtract the theta. Okay. Or that's all I'm telling you. Okay. Anyway, that becomes complicated to do, right? So sine 360 minus 45, 360 minus 45, right? Let's do the quadrants again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 360 minus 45, 360 is here, 360 minus 45, we are in the fourth quadrant, cos is positive, therefore sine is not positive, therefore we get minus sine 45. Sine 45 is 1 by root 2, so we get minus 1 by root 2. That's your answer. Is that clear? Is that clear? The last two slides of the session and we will be ending our stream. Oh, sorry, I did an error, small error, please. Sometimes this happens. Thank you for telling me. Oh, no, thank you. So that we avoided this. Okay. So cos 30 is not 1 by 2. It's root 3 by 2. My mistake. I wrote the correct thing at the bottom and the incorrect thing at the top. So sorry. So if you look before, cos 30 is root 3 by 2. Okay, let's move on. So this is, we have kind of already discussed this. So if you look at the quadrants, right, 0 is here and 2 pi is here. But not only is 2 pi here, 2n pi is here. So what does that mean? For example, I have an angle of 30 degrees here. That becomes our theta. Now this is equal to 360 plus theta. This is equal to 720 plus theta. This is equal to what will 3 be? 720 into 3, 2160 plus theta. All right. So integral multiples of 2 pi, right? Integral, let's stay with natural numbers, not integral, natural numbers. Natural numbers. Okay. No matter how many times we move around the circle, we will get theta. Whether it's 360, whether it's 720, whether it's 1080, and whether it's 2160. So 0, 1, 2, 3, right? Fine. This is true for sine, cos, and tan. Last one. We are at the end. Please stay tuned. We are at the end, right? So if theta is very, very small, right? If theta is very, very small, what does that mean? Like up to, it's valid up to 30 degrees, right? So if theta is very, very small, sine theta becomes theta, right? How will you do that? So let's take the example of sine 30 because that's the limit, right? Theta is what? 30 is what? It's called pi by 6. So sine pi by 6 is almost equal to pi by 6. What is pi? It's 3.14 by 6. This is roughly equal to 1 by 2. And what was sine 30? Sine 30 was 1 by 2. Okay. Similarly, if theta is very small, cos theta becomes 1 and tan theta again becomes theta. Is that clear? So if you notice, you must be saying tan 30 is 1 by root 3, but 1 by root 3 is equal to 1.732, which is roughly equal to 1 by 2. So tan theta is equal to theta. But remember, when you are using these ones, theta you have to take in radians. Okay, simple enough. Any doubts? Any questions? We have 10 minutes. We'll be ending soon. Any doubts? Any questions? Let's address them right now. Quickly. Let's do it. Okay, I'm going to assume there are no doubts. Okay, thank you very, very much. It was really nice being on this stream. Hope you all have a very good day. Very, very good day. we'll be ending the stream now. Thank you very much. It was good having you all.